Well, Sunteck Realty, that's the next stock in focus. Remember, the stock has taken a bit of a knock this year. In fact, it's down sharply. In this month itself, it's lost close to around 20-25% of its market capitalization. But in the last few days, there's been a ratings upgrade that's come about. And also, we have news that, the Naigaon launch was fairly successful as well. To understand what's going on there, we have Mr. Kamal Khetan, the chairman and MD of the company. Well, Mr. Khetan, thanks so much, sir, for joining in today. The real estate market has been in a bit of a tizzy. At least that's what various reports suggest. But you seem to have sold quite a few flats in Naigaon. Tell us first, is there fear out there in terms of the real estate market, or are you seeing decent amount of demand? And also Naigaon launch, run us through some details there. What was the average ticket size, and what's your target out there?
Hi, Nigel. So there is definitely, Nigel, there is some stress in real estate sector due to macro level headwinds. But very frankly, at the micro level, in fact, companies with a strong balance sheet and the strong cash flows will benefit and will be able to use this as an opportunity, because we will see lots of distress which will come into the market, which will be available, and which will be good for any good developer or organized developer with a strong balance sheet and a strong cash flow. So if you look again, in terms of Naigaon, we have sold more than 2,000 apartments in the first phase itself, project called Sunteck Westworld, where the total inventory was only 2,476 apartments. So you can see we have almost exhausted more than 75-80% of the inventory, and the total sales value was more than 600 crores. So we feel any organized player with a strong execution track record and sales is not a problem, especially in the affordable segment and the mid-income group segment. And if you see our ticket size, in fact, in Naigaon was from 25 lakh to 50 lakhs. And in that segment, again, in that micro market, in fact, Sunteck was, as usual, if you see, we have been the first people to enter BKC market, and we created an ultra luxury segment there. And similarly in ODC, and now it's a time for us in Naigaon. And so in Naigaon, we feel continue this kind of sales and overwhelming response. And this sales we just did in less than almost 1 month.
Okay. Kamal, so clearly execution from your end is fairly stable. But what about the buying power of consumers? Do you see that having deteriorated? Because, just earlier today we were chatting with many auto dealers, and they were indicating that inquiries have come down by nearly, 20-25%. Sales have dropped significantly this festive season. So is the buying power still intact, or do you see a sense of slowdown there? And therefore, will you continue with all your launches and sales that you have planned, or do you think it's time to slow it down a bit?
Hi, Rima. Very frankly, I see, in fact, in the beginning itself, I said that there is definitely a macro level headwinds, in fact, but if you see, when we launched this product, it is during this time itself, and we saw an overwhelming response. Like, in fact, we felt we can very frankly, I can tell you that if we launch the second phase itself, we don't see any problem even in this market. So maybe in the automobile segment, maybe it's we feel buying home is more important. Definitely, there is some macro level, repeatedly, as I say, that macro level headwinds. But especially in the low income group, affordable segment and mid income group, we see the sales are still very robust.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Khetan, the sense that you're giving us is that, in fact, there's an opportunity out there for, real estate companies with good pedigree, with good delivery records as well. And, you would qualify in that as per your recent record. Tell us, do you have any plans? Are you looking at some stressed assets? Could there be some possible buyouts that Sunteck Realty is looking at as well?
So definitely there are a lot of distressed assets which are in market. We are already, before this market has gone bad, before this we were already in talks, and I can tell you we are seeing at least 4 to 5 deals we are getting in this distressed market, not only from the landlords, also from the distressed developers. We are seeing those deals in the market, and we will aggressively looking at a good opportunity. We will explore this definitely.
Okay. Will you look at, do you think, developers may default in the near term? We had one of the real estate companies rating get downgraded to D, but do you see a spike in retail non-performing assets due to a delay in project deliveries, or developers in general defaulting?
So definitely there may be some pain, Rima, because of this NBFCs not if they won't be able to lend more to the real estate developer, no doubt about it. But again, I will repeat that strong developers with a strong balance sheet who need just a construction finance, we continue to get our finance from banks and finance.
If you could just tell us the breakup of your borrowing, how much comes from NBFCs and how much from banks? Has there been an increase in your borrowing cost?
So I will tell you, so very frankly, our debt equity ratio is 0.17, and we have which is one of the lowest in the sector. In fact, all our projects are today almost cash flow positive. And in fact, in this market, we are the only one company in this segment who got a rating upgrade from A minus to A plus to AA minus. And if you want funding today, we can easily get our construction finance from any banks or financial institutions at single digit. I can say 9.25%.
All right. I mean,
and today most of our borrowings are from SBI Bank, Axis Bank, HDFC Limited and HDFC Bank.
So not dependent on NBFCs?
No, we are not much.
Well, it appears that the street is definitely listening to you, Mr. Khetan. The intraday chart of the stock should come up. It was down close to around 4%, recovered substantially from the low point of the day. Final question, what's the unsold inventory that you have in your books? The finished unsold inventory is what I'm referring to, the total unsold inventory, and how much of that is finished unsold inventory, because that you could sell without incurring more cost.
So Nigel, our completed projects, from the completed projects like BKC, Signature Island, Signia Pearl, as well as our other projects, we have a inventory cash surplus what will generate from the completed stocks is close to 2,500 crore. And from the ongoing project, which is ODC, Sunteck City Avenue 1, 2 and our other projects, as well as Naigaon, from the current sales, we expect an excess cash flow of 3,500 crore. So we are talking overall the total value of more than 6,000 crore. More than 6,000 crores of excess cash flow surplus getting generated over a period of 2 to 3 years.
Okay, ready and under construction will be 6,000
yes.
crore of inventory. Okay, one final question. You spoke about 4 to 5 distressed assets that you're looking to buy right now. Would you close that in this year? What could be the potential ticket size?
Rima, as said, we are looking at this 4 to 5 assets, but definitely will be some good closure from our side.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Mr. Khetan, for stopping by and speaking to us here on CNBC TV 18. The market seems to have heard that the positive commentary coming in from the management. They're saying there are no stress. Maybe in fact, for good developers, they'll be on the prowl as well. So we'll wait by, and sitting on a big inventory of around 6,000 crores, but 2,500 crores is the unsold finished inventory. The stock was at a 52-week low, but it's bounced off the low point of the day. We'll slip into a short break. You come back. We'll shift focus to the commodity segment.